Hey, welcome. I'm excited. We have another exciting show for you guys. Today is Technology Tuesday. Thank you for tuning in. If you are tuning in live, do hashtag live. If you are tuning in on the replay, hashtag replay, and let us know where you're tuning in from. We have an exciting, powerful show for you guys today, something that you will want to share with others. We got some important industry updates, and I want to thank all of our syndication partners. So if you are seeing this inside of a group, I want to thank you for joining that group, and make sure you share with someone that group. Help us grow these groups. Tell your friends, tell whoever you know who needs the information in that group about that group, and go ahead and invite them to the group. If you would like to join our group, make sure you head over to technologytuesday.com where you can join our group as well. And we have some things that we're going to be dropping in there just for the group members inside that group. And so we are about to get started. But before we do, I want you to hear from a friend of mine. This is a video expert. He is a video expert in the industry. He's been creating video sales letters for people all across the internet, and he is a member of our group. So if you have a video related question, make sure you ask him. Tag him in your post, and he will see it. So listen, I want you to hear from a good friend of mine, Lefty.
Hey guys, I want to give a big shout out to my tech Jedi, Greg Russell. He knows anything and everything when it comes to the tech world. I was somebody that was very website illiterate, and he just made the process so smooth and easy for me where it had allowed me to build an awesome landing page, which till this day I'm getting compliments on. So Greg, thank you very much. If you are looking for somebody to set up a CRM for you, get a website, landing page, or any other tech needs of yours, you've got to jump on a call with Greg. He is the man.
All right. How you doing, Jerry? Thank you for being here, man.
Hey, man, glad to be here. It's Technology Tuesday. Every Tuesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you'll find myself, Jerry Franklin Poe, and Greg Russell here with you, sharing technology updates, technology tools to help you make your business more effective and save you time. So, Greg, let's go ahead and get started with the great show we have in store.
All right, man, back for another episode. Listen, so we got a couple of segments we're going to do today. We are going to talk about the AppSumo deal of the day. This is some things you definitely don't want to miss. We're also going to hear from our IT expert, our security expert, Mr. Howard Globus. We are going to talk about some industry news. There's some things that you have to know that's going on in the industry that affects you. All right, so Jerry, let's start with this first one. Let's get into the AppSumo deal of the week. What you got for me, man?
Oh, man, there's a couple things that's happening. We are on the AppSumo mailing list, so we get the updates from them. And anyone who's watching the show, you can go ahead and join their mailing list as well. But I know they have some what they call last calls. So if you've been on the show before, you would have heard Greg or myself mention that these deals do not last forever, but every once in a while they'll bring back something that has been like a fan favorite. So there are a couple they have that are a last call for just this week. So they're not going to be around forever. They're going to be in and then they're going to be out. One, I believe, Greg, was the PubCoder. PubCoder, for those of you who are watching who are authors or speakers who are creating books, ebooks specifically, this is one that will give you a chance to create and design. If you don't have necessarily a graphic designer or you want to throw something together real quick on your own, instead of having Adobe InDesign, this is an alternative. And for $69 lifetime, it's a lifetime deal, $69 one time for life. Now, at the day we're recording this, I believe there's 3 days left on this. So if you're not acting soon, you'll probably see this one go away. But this is another just little great tip or tool to help you when it comes to building your ebooks, and you can put them up on Amazon or even let you create an ebook that you might want to put into not the Amazon, what's it called, the Google store for Android, or the Apple store. It can let you put your books right in there as if it's an actual app.
I
So
didn't
it
even know.
makes them.
I didn't even know you could do that. That's interesting that you could put it in there. I never even thought about that, and that's probably listen. It's another distribution channel. So if you can get your book out there in as many places as you can, that's a good one. I think I didn't want that one to slip by because I didn't even know that.
Yeah, so it lets it be like, so they can swipe with their finger. It makes it like like a whole completely electronic. So this lets you design that and do it without having to know any like super technological skills. That's why it's called PubCoder, because it's really doing a lot of the back end work for you. It's a simple user interface. And I know another one they have, Greg, which is another graphics tool for social media posts, is CreaSquare. CreaSquare is one that not only has the ability to do the graphic design for you and to remove. So this is an alternative to like Canva, but it has the social media scheduler inside it, like Buffer and Jasper. And this one has an AI tool. So if you're not really sure what to write or what to say, it lets you use AI to help create the captions or the words that go along with your post. It also has an automatic resizer. So if you're making one graphic, it will resize it for Facebook, uh, Instagram, and all the other places, because there's different sizes for each one.
That's that's wow. That's interesting because look, it says integrations: Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok, and YouTube.
Yep.
I think this one is definitely worth taking a look at. I mean, listen, we know that we're in the midst of the AI revolution, and I think that all these things coming out, and I think that a lot of people may be sitting on the sidelines. And here's what I would like to share real quickly about that. When Google first came out with their AdSense, it was a penny per click, and if you were a lot of times most people didn't understand what that meant. I mean, you can run an ad for a penny per click, right? And so if they clicked and came to your website, you'd pay a penny. So basically, for $1, you could get 100 people to your website. And when it first came out, those who were aware of how they could cheaply buy the traffic started buying as much traffic as they could. And as more companies became aware of how to acquire that traffic, everybody who started doing it drove the price up. So now today you can't get, I mean, you could probably get a penny for a click for something that is not really a word, but for the things that people are looking for, you cannot do that. I referenced this around this time around AI because we're in that beginning phase again with this new technology of all the things that are AI. And so the engine, and everybody knows the ChatGPT, it's really at a time where it's really new, so it's really inexpensive. And so if you can get in with those things, now is your best opportunity to take advantage of AI, because just like Google pay per click, it's not going to stay this cheap and open forever. So you need to get into, and those who get in early and do a lot with it can make a lot of money with the tools and get a lot done now, because you need to take advantage of it because you don't want to be left behind. So just be aware of that. All right, man. I just wanted to drop that right quick.
Nah, man, you right on it. You right on it.
Yes, sir.
And again, like they have the 60 days to return it if they don't like it. And you're only talking about stuff that's like what, $40 for one, $70 for the other, in terms of having a lifetime deal. So just take a look at it. You don't take our word for it. You can go ahead and read in there yourself and see if you know what it is. So it's not like we're just making this stuff up. You can read it for yourself.
That's right. That's right. Yo, those are awesome. I'm definitely going to check out those. That's CreaSquare and PubCoder. So guys, make sure you check those out. Listen, we're going to hear from our resident IT expert, Mr. Howard Globus. He is also a member of Technology Tuesday group. So if you have questions about internet security and safety, or how to protect your hardware devices, make sure you reach out to him inside the group. But before we do, we got a word from our sponsor.
Video sales letters are like the new billboards. And who doesn't want to be on a billboard? With a VSL, you buy into location scouting, script writing, strategy, and of course, filming and editing. And that typically starts at $15,000. Yeah, you heard correct, $15,000. And believe me, there have been people that pay that price. But because you pressed play today,
get ready for a moment to remember, because you, my friend, have just struck gold. You have won a video sales letter for only $9.97.
By now you're probably wondering why this offer is even on the table. Well, I need to get the funnel hacking live, and I need your help to get me there. And this is my perfect opportunity to give back to my community. And best of all, do you mind? Fine! You never let me in on anything! If you are attending Funnel Hacking Live, you and I are gonna film the entire thing in person. But don't worry if you're not, because you're still gonna get all the same perks except from the comfort of your own home. So do righty by lefty by clicking the link below, and I will see you in Orlando.
Howard, thank you for being here, man. I really enjoy your segments with us and your time. So listen, man, I'm not going to hold it up. Let's get into it. What do you have for us this week?
Thanks again, Greg. I always enjoy being here, talking with you about ways to protect your computer equipment and your data. So today I want to talk about rains and floods. Why rains and floods? Again, I'm not a weatherman, so why do I care about the rains and floods? Rains and floods can cause damage to your computer equipment, whether it's at your home office, your actual business office, your home computer. Rains and floods are very dangerous. So what we want to do is we want to make sure that when inclement weather is coming in, that we're protecting our equipment. Um, Normally during storm seasons, hurricane season in the Northeast, tornado season in other parts of the country, we like to make sure that we have a a suppression system in place, we call it a UPS, an uninterruptible power supply in place. That's basically something a little bit more than power a power adapter that has multiple plugs in it, but it also has a battery backup, and that normalizes out the power. So that way, if there's a power spike or a power drop, the machine continues to run properly. But also, if you lose power, you can shut down the computer gracefully. So why am I talking about all of this as it relates to rain and flood? When the rains come, the power can be affected. Your power lines might get cut, or you might lose a power cable in your front yard, in your front office. So what we recommend is you have a UPS in place, so that way you can gracefully shut down the machine. It doesn't just close down without any warning. You get to make sure that you save your files, save them locally if you don't have access to the internet and to online storage. Save your files and then shut down the machine. If you're going to have potential flooding in the office, we also recommend that you raise the machine up. If the machine is normally on the ground or in a cabinet that's at ground level, we recommend that you disconnect all the cables and you bring it up and put it about 3 or 4 feet above the floor. Now, in the event that you have 3 or 4 feet of flooding in your office, you're probably still going to have some damage to the computer, but I would venture to say you probably have a lot of damage in the space anyway. I'm just saying that if you raise the machine up off the floor, even if you have an inch or two of rain that comes in, or rainwater that comes in to your office or space, you're not going to then damage your computer. So when it's starting to rain or flood, make sure that you have your machine backed up and that you turn it off, disconnect it, and raise it up a couple of feet off the ground. That's one way to stay safe in inclement weather that we're seeing more and more often. Greg?
Awesome, man. Listen, it's been a while since I've had a tower that sat on the floor, but I know there are a lot of entrepreneurs who still have them and still use them. But one of the things that I used to have and that I don't have anymore was that power backup source. It was like a big block and you plug the computer into it, and then if the power went out, it kept running at least for so many minutes. Like the more money you spend on it, the more the more minutes it will stay on before the battery died out. And I had mine for several years, and it conked out on me. And when I went back to get one, and it was just Best Buy where I was going, then it, they didn't have them. They're not like, they're harder to find now, a lot harder to find. Do you is that would is that the kind of backup you're talking about, like a power source that I could get from Best Buy? And if I'm having a hard time finding them, where should I look? Should we go to Amazon? Where's a good place to look for these?
Sure. So Amazon has them. Best Buy Online has them. We source a lot of the equipment like that from a place called Micro Center. Um, but Fry's on the West Coast has them. Basically, the main manufacturers are going to be something like CyberPower. There's APC. This is American Power Company. This is one of the ones that provides these UPSs, and you can get them really small, where it has a six power supplies, excuse me, six outlets that's running off a battery. So it's a little bit more than just a power strip, but you don't have to go crazy with it. Again, you just want it to run long enough that you have time to shut down the machine gracefully.
Awesome. Howard, thank you so much, man. Go ahead and take us out with your ending saying, I love when you do it.
Thanks a lot, Greg. I always enjoy speaking with you and everyone that's watching you, and stay safe out there.
Oh man, that's such a good segment. Howard, thank you, man. We love what you do and how you always are helping everyone keep their computers safe. So appreciate you being here again with us. Thank you, sir. All right, Jerry, man. Listen, it's time to dive into our industry news, man. And there's some things that we definitely have to talk about that is really, really important for everyone to know, right? And check this out. So right now, I like to usually give people a lot of warning when there's some industry news that things they need to do. However, what I'm about to share with you right now affects something you have to do by tomorrow. So it's like, listen, you got to do this by tomorrow. So here's what it is. And it only affects Apple iPhone users and people in the Apple ecosystem. So if you have an Apple device, right, they have dropped that they are going to remove My Photo Stream from the platform. And if you have photos on My Photo Stream, you have the potential to lose these photos. And so it's something you definitely have to take notice of. Now, listen, Jerry, I know you're an Android guy, so you're like, hey, whatever. But you know friends like myself who have Apple. So if you are an Android person and you have friends with the Apple, please be like, hey, you need to come check this video or look it up and see what's going on so you don't lose your photos. Because these phones, man, these devices over the years have really allowed us to capture and share so much of our life because we have these phones that have these cameras and video cameras on them. And the last thing you want to lose is those photos, because a lot of times we don't realize exactly how much photos we take on our phone because we are desensitized to, I wouldn't say everyone, most people are desensitized to just how many photos you can take, right? So the last time I looked on my phone, I had like 24,000 photos, because you can just snap a photo anytime. And not only would you snap a photo, you usually take more than one to make sure you got a good one, right? At least I do. I'm speaking about, that's what I do. So
You're right.
Yeah, right. So we have all these photos. So back in the day, we got to go back to understand Apple got this service called My Photo Stream. And what My Photo Stream did was allow you to take a photo on one device, your phone or your iPad, and then share it with all your devices, right? It was My Photo Stream. And if you took the photo on the original device, whichever device that was, it would be on all the devices. As Apple developed iCloud, they decided to develop their own sharing within the platform, right? And so now they've decided to retire my photo stream. And so if you have photos in my photo stream, you could lose the photos. So Jerry, here's what I wanted to share with everyone. Because the news has been letting people know about this, but they've been letting them know in a misinformed way. Okay. So could you lose all your photos? Yes. However, you need to know the specifics behind it. Okay. So I'm going to share. Maybe I deleted it. Boom, boom, boom.
I mean, the idea, Greg, behind this is that most of us haven't bought film in a long time.
What film? There's some people listening right now who don't even know what you're talking about, Jerry.
And when you bought film, I mean, there's some. I mean, there might be some still photographers out there that use film, but back then you knew how many pictures you could take. You were rarely like, "Is this picture worthy?" Remember that? You'd be like, "Yo, is this worth a click?" Because you wouldn't want to waste your count. You only got like 30 some pictures on your John, so it's like I don't want to waste a picture on something that's not worth it because I only got so many shots on this
That's
road.
right. That's
Now
right.
we don't think about that. We be taking pictures of stuff. It's like, whatever. I'll just take a picture of it.
Just gotta tell you, I'll just take this picture and some more. All right, so found this article, says don't panic. Here's what to do if your Apple threatens to delete your iPhotos. I'm gonna post this link in the group, so if you guys want to come and read it for yourself, you can. Again, this was published on July 12th, so it wasn't a lot of time that people were really aware, right? And so basically, they're going to go tell you what's going on, right? My Photo Stream is a service provided by Apple that allows them to do it, right? Basically, it allows them to share their most 1,000 photos, right? So what happens now is if you have the original device, that the photo was taken on, let's say it's your iPhone, and on tomorrow or tomorrow at midnight, whenever you decide to get rid of the service, if you still have the device, you will have that photo stored on that original device. But the photo will get removed from all your other devices because it will no longer be shared through the photo stream. Okay. Now this is what's important. If you don't have the original device, let's say you've moved on to another phone or it's just an old phone sitting around somewhere, but you can't get to it or it's no longer working, then you will lose all the photos on your other devices. But if you can't get to those photos, you will lose that photo on the original device. So, one, they're not just going to delete all your photos; it will stay on the original device. You have to make sure you have that original device. If you do, you can get it. What they want you to do, and what I recommend you do, is that they want you to upgrade to iCloud, right? They want you to use iCloud because that service is built into their storage in the Apple ecosystem. So if you upgrade to iCloud and you move all your photos and videos to iCloud, it will be on all your devices and you don't have to worry about it. So my photo stream was like a free service that they offered, I think, unless you need to upgrade. I don't remember, it's been too long. But what you need to do is you need to move it over to iCloud. If you're worried about fees, I would say just pay this first month. You can figure out how to move them somewhere else after the first month. But again, this is happening tomorrow, so you need to take advantage. You need to get moving right now, so that you don't lose some precious photos of your family members, important events in your life that you want to remember. All right, so that's what's going on with Apple. And so if you have people with iPhones, Apple devices, please let them know to check that out ASAP. All right, man. So we got one more big industry news. And this has to do with everybody, not just iPhone users. So if you have a marketing device, right? If you have a CRM system that sends out text messages or a marketing platform that sends out text messages, there is something called A2P 10DLC, right? And basically what it says is that if you are in the United States, now this only affects the United States. If you're in another country and you're sending text messages to the United States numbers, you need to do this as well. So basically, it is basically United States that allows businesses to send application to person. That's what the A2P is, application to person. So if you have Keep, Entreport, any type of system, business system, where you have your contacts data in there, and that system can send a text message, this is affect every carrier, every service that has to deal with text messaging, right? And so basically, and it's basically text messages via a 10-digit long code. That's what the 10 DLC stands for, a 10-digit long. So if your system is using a phone number to send out these text messages, you must register with whatever service, you basically register your business with that number, so that your business is responsible for that number, and they can track what you're doing, and they can make sure you have certain practices in place so that you are compliant. And what's going to happen and why this is important is because this affects all the carriers. So no matter what carrier you're using, it will, or what carrier the service that you're using uses, it's going to affect all of us. Now it started, they wanted everyone to submit by July 5th, but it's after July 5th. But they're slowly going to start disallowing messages to go through, and most all of them will be cut off by the end of August. August 31st is the cutoff date. So you still have time to do it. I'm going to post this very important video that is 16 minutes long in the group, so you guys can check it out. He does a really good job of explaining what it is, why it's here, and then what you need to do about if you have a CRM system based in Go High Level. But the first part is most important about knowing what this is and what to do about it. If your CRM system or thing that you use isn't talking about this, you need to contact them, ask them what are they doing so that your text messages will go through. Because you got to understand, sometimes these things that come up like this, not everybody is aware of it, and not everybody will be able to do anything about it because they're busy doing all their stuff and running their business, and then they're not going to know until all of a sudden everybody starts complaining about, hey, why isn't anyone getting my text messages, right? So listen, this is coming. You need to be aware. You need to take action now, so that if you're using a CRM system, a marketing system that sends out text messages, your messages go through. And this is extremely important because now more than ever, it's really hard to get communication through because of all the laws, and the laws are there to prevent spam. So we need to do a really good job at fighting and doing everything we can to get our messages through. Jerry, have you heard of this A2P before?
When you shared it with me, yep, that's when. But I mean, these things are changing. I mean, you think about how many emails we get that you might get a notice of something, and then like you don't pay attention to it because it gets lost in your inbox, and it's not. You don't think it's a top priority because it doesn't have to be done like in the next couple hours, and then you forget about it. So that's one of these types of things that you might have forgot about it, or you might have seen it and you didn't recognize or pay attention to it, but now you really want to focus in on it because it's one of those issues that if you don't take care of it, it will come back to bite you sooner rather than later.
That's right. Listen, thank you guys for tuning in. I want to thank Lefty, our video genius, and I loved his video. I loved his commercial. I love the creativity to it. Let's help him get to Funnel Hacker Live so you can hang out with them. And you can also get a video sales letter that can drive sales for your business. So if you're interested in that, reach out to Lefty. Again, we'll put the link on the screen. With that, Jerry, take us out, bro.
All right, folks, you know what it is. Every week we are here giving you these tech tools and tech news, tech advice to help you save time, maximize revenue in your business. So until next week, make sure you join us on technologytuesday.com. Be a part of the group, especially because you want to hear that video that Greg is going to be posting. We'll be here every week at 2 p.m. on Tuesday, Eastern Standard Time. Have a great week, everyone.